Okay, welcome again, friends and neighbors. Last week we tackled the problem of pedophilia. This week I'm going to tackle the problem of methamphetamine usage in this country and the combined effort in the war. Okay. Now, we have to admit some basic premises here in the beginning of this. Number one, we have to admit that meth use in this country is an epidemic proportions. So let's admit that we got meth labs in every major city and minor city in this country. Stuff is easy to make, it's cheap, people are picking it up and becoming addicted to this nonsense, and that they're just becoming completely non-productive citizens. Let's admit that everybody's just about sick and tired of the war. And I mean, I'm a supporter of President Bush. I have something on my deal there. I'm a supporter of President Bush all the way, but I'll be honest with you, all about the time old Sodom hit the end of that rope, I figured it was a done deal. So we're still over there, and they're still doing like they have for the last 4,000 years, and they're still bombing each other and shooting each other and knifing each other and cutting each other's head off with a bread knife. So what we've got here is we've got a bunch of people with just too much time on their hands and too much energy. Now, I want y'all to think, last time you drove downtown, you seen them people hanging out in the street lights with their butts kind of drooping and they didn't seem to want to go anywhere or do anything, look kind of glassy-eyed. Let's agree they didn't have a whole lot of energy. And you and I both know what them people are. We know what drug they're doing and why they're hanging out on the street. Okay, now, what we want to do is we want to bring these two worlds together. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take some meth labs over there, and we're going to take them and put them in every major city. Now, every time we catch a meth dealer over here, or a meth producer or whatever, what we're going to do is instead of sending them to prison, we're going to send them to Baghdad. And we'll tell them, okay, you got to do 3 years, and you got to do 3 years in Iraq, and your job is to run a meth lab. Since that seems to be what you do real well anyway, you just go ahead and run a meth lab. And the first year or so, we're going to go ahead and we're going to sell it to the Iraqis at a discount rate, you know, 1 or 2, you know, camel turds or whatever they're dealing in. Now, let's admit one thing here about taking meth. I know that y'all are all out there probably thinking that these people probably have some kind of scruples and they won't do methamphetamine. But let me tell you something, folks. Let me just get this straight to you. Anybody that would stick a stick of dynamite up their ass and light the fuse and walk into a mall has probably got just about enough sense to smoke a meth pipe. Okay, let's get down the basics on that. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and at a discount rate so that they get used to the product, kind of salt the ground just a little bit. Okay, then as we send more meth people over there that are doing their job, as we send them over, we're going to bring the boys back. The American boys in the service, we'll bring them back. Okay, so pretty soon as you can readily see, we'll pretty much have most of the troops replaced in Iraq with meth dealers, which is about their level. That's about the level the Iraqis are on. Okay, so we'll have them all, you know, replaced with meth dealers. Now, about the time we get down where we ain't hardly got no troops over there at all, and it's all meth dealers, then we're going to get 10 guys out of San Antonio over here, and 2 SUVs and 4 machine guns, and they're going to go over there and they're going to run the whole operation, because somebody's got to answer to the United States and give us our cut of the action. At that time, of course, we're going to bring the price up a little bit and start dealing in gold and regular currency and everything. You have to actually buy it and everything. Now, I guarantee you that after these people get into the meth problem like we got in LA and New York, and they got that same problem in Baghdad, well, they ain't gonna be worried about blowing up no more malls and hanging no people and cutting anybody's head off. They're gonna be worried about that next meth pipe. See? So that's what we want to do. We're gonna keep the mind right. We'll keep the mind right. They're gonna have to think about that next puff instead of Allah or any of this other stuff. Okay, so now get the whole country where they're kind of in sync with each other. You know, in sync with each other. We got all these meth dealers that run these labs, and we got them 10 boys from San Antonio heading up the whole thing. So you see how the system works? How the system works, everything. And with any luck at all, you know, the average Iraqi's intelligence, most of their heads are going to look pretty much like this. Yeah. And you know, they'll pretty well level out. They'll seek their own level like water. And it'll also solve the problem of them women wearing them black gowns and burqas they wear, because after we get their old ladies addicted to this meth, they got that sun, I happen to know it goes up about 138 degrees over there. Them old burkers gonna come right off, and we're finally gonna see what the hell they've been hiding all these years. I mean, we know what it smells like. So we'll get them burkers off of them, get looking at them. Won't have any more problem with terrorists because they're going to be too busy hanging out on the street corner trying to get more meth. And as far as explosions in the country, no problem. About the time that one of them old meth heads mixes that ammonia and stuff just the right way, well, bam, you got all the explosion you need, you know. And what's it going to do? It's going to kill a few meth heads, okay, because they're all doing meth. The only issue that I can see is that Iran may spill over and start trying to preach to them, so we might have to get ready to invade Iran next and everything. Afghanistan's no problem because they adapt to whatever, you know, next to the border. That's who they are. Just lucky we ain't got Disneyland over there. They'll all be dressing like Mickey Mouse. But anyway, now we got this problem solved. Pretty soon we'll run out of meth dealers over here because after sending about 50,000 meth dealers over there to Crete and Baghdad and everything, they're probably not going to, word's going to filter back, and them boys up in New York and everything, they probably ain't going to want to go over there, so they're going to probably get out of the meth business altogether. And them 10 boys from San Antonio, I happen to know them all personal, and they're probably going to keep everything in line real good. I mean, that's, you know, as far as getting into the country and getting out of the country, ain't no problem because them boys are real good at sneaking across the border anyway. So, you know, we got all these problems solved. We ain't got no more meth problem in the United States. All our good boys are home. The Iraqis ain't going to fight nobody but their old lady, something like this. And there won't be any war against anybody but their own self now, and they'll all be. One good thing. I truly believe they're all very religious, and I believe in that. I believe in that they're all very religious, and I really believe that after we get them addicted to meth just right, they are truly going to see God.